Hello, listeners, and welcome back to another episode of Pitstop Fracas. I'm your host, Richard, and today we're here to review the very dull Miami Grand Prix. Here today to review today's Grand Prix is none other than Anik. Anik, good to see you out to the wilderness and ducking the smoke and whatnot. How are we doing today, brother?
What do you mean ducking the smoke? 5-5. Team have done 5-5, and I've been enjoying it. I've been celebrating. I thought, you know what? Make a little appearance. Let me let you guys know who's still top around here. That's Red Bull. Clear.
Interesting.
Clear.
Interesting. So you're still on your BS. Interesting too. Okay, Kwame. Kwame, how fresh back from Becky's yard. How we doing today, bro?
Hey, bro, I'll be in my bed all day, man, and the full pitch, man. But no, I don't know about Becky's yard, but I'm good, man. Listen, I'm good, man. Yeah, man. I even myself, I've been on the pod in a while, and so it's good to be back. Good to both my Apping boys, and they're doing well. Good to Yuki do well as well, man. All can everyone around me is eating, man. So happy. Can't complain.
Interesting. And last but not least, you've got Nam, fresh back from his Labour votes and whatnot, winning his constituency, whatever you call it. How are we doing today, bro?
Yeah, no, I'm good. I wasn't actually. I didn't vote. I actually went.
Did you not?
Nah. I actually went to because I was at the wedding in George Russell's country. Yeah. Lovely place. Lovely place. I get it. I would vote Tory too if I lived there.
Well, fun enough, you already do. But yeah, let's move on.
I'd definitely.
Oh shit! Okay, let's move on to Quali anyway. So Quali was certainly interesting. Q1 was eventful, to say the least, especially with the track elevation. Q2 was rather disappointing, at least for one driver. There was some folks who got knocked out. But Q3, the man of the hour, star of Saturday, not we'll say the weekend. Charles Leclerc going for a quick little spinner-rooney, as he always does. Straight into the wall to ruin everyone else's laps and give us a mixed-up top 10. So, Anik, I'm consuming this. What's your take for the Quali, and how do you feel about your boy yet again doing another mistake in Quali? Well, not even in Quali, just this season almost. It's his fourth mistake already this season. Only 5 races in.
He made the same mistake. He made the same mistake at the same corner the day before. He would have learned. I'll be honest with you. He would have learned his lesson and realised not to go too hard in there. He turned around and said, "Look, the setup's not all that." He binned it. He done bad on the first run. The first run didn't work out for him. And look, bro, things happen. He made it a bit more exciting. Max was down in P9. But it is, bro.
Yeah. Is that it, yeah? Is that you're taking from you? Just a little mistake, no? I mean, you've done the same mistake in the same fucking weekend. That is alarming. In the same corner. Is that not alarming, Anik, or is it just one of those things?
It happens, man. Look, it's one of them things. It happens, man. Can't do much. It happens.
No, I don't like this. Now, man, I need you to join in and cook this bread with me. I don't like this because all this. Listen, I've been on the. If you know me, yeah, you know who it is, yeah. I've been on this guy's ass since 2020, since lockdown times, since he bottled the podium in Turkey. We're talking almost 3 years now, and this guy's been doing the same shit year on year, mistake after mistake after mistake. Okay, drivers can do mistakes, that's fine, but it's the amount of mistakes he's doing. It's a problem. So 4 mistakes already this season. 4 mistakes already this season. Was it more than what Mick done in the whole of last year? And Mick's not got a seat. Now, I'm not saying he should get his seat taken off him. But however, I don't want to hear all this, he's better than Max, he's second best on the grid, world champion, he's going to cook everyone, oh my God, look at him. One lap pace is cool. You know, he's the fastest driver over 1 lap on the grid. I'll take that. But with all these constant mistakes, it doesn't really mean nothing. You can't win a world championship this way, especially since the AI robot like Max. So, Anik, I'm gonna ask you this directly. Yeah, do you think Charles Marc Percival Leclerc, will be a world champion one day? Honestly, don't give me no bullshit as well.
He will. Of course he will. Honestly, I have no doubts about it. As long as he's got the right team and the right car, of course he will. You saw today he didn't have a car underneath him, but a trait of a world champion is to be fast on one lap, and he's got that. He's got the racing house. He's the only driver that's non-Red Bull to have won the most races under the new regs. Remember that.
How many?
He's got it in him.
How many years is left on Charles's contract?
2, including
Less than 2 years.
Interesting. Do you think he'll get a new deal, Anik?
No, I don't think he will.
No. Interesting.
No.
Interesting.
So where's he going then?
Mercedes. I think I'm from Mercedes.
Okay.
Or if not Red Bull. He's the only one that can go toe to toe with Max right now.
Is it?
About some other team. Yeah, of course he can. Of course he can.
Red Bull are looking at all those crashes. Red Bull are looking at all those crashes and going, the
Red Bull car. But the Red Bull car isn't as slippery as Ferrari's. The Ferrari car slippery around those long corners. You saw it,
bro. I can't lie. The way Leclerc crashes and messes up his cars, the way your mic is sounding, it's just terrible.
But I'll be honest with you. I've been in the background trying to sort my mic out whilst I've been talking. Can you hear me better now?
That's probably what the guys in the pit were doing.
No, I was doing
plan E, plan F, trying to fix it.
Plan A minus 12, plan B plus 5.
Is it better?
Look, man, I've got a clip here. Someone wise said something about Charles, bro, and
no one else. Nothing, not a cone, not a steering, a Marshall, not a backbeat, not a loop, some handbag, not a big, nothing. It was just him.
It was literally just him. He just spun the thing unprovoked. And the joke is, if you watch the onboard for Charles, he didn't need to do the second spin, you know. He did the second spin for Bance in Quali. For Bance. This can't be.
But for real, if you break it down, no.
Pardon?
He is generational. Let's make.
Hold on.
He is generational.
Hold on, Anik. Before you start, Dick Radden, just to tap onto what Nam said. Jock Clear, some Ferrari personnel, said that Leclerc caught PTSD from his previous spin in was a practice. On the practice sessions, so therefore he wanted to crash. What was it from the back? Basically, rather than from the fronts, because he didn't want to. Was it he just had trauma, whatever it was? Because he didn't like the way he crashed front ways. You know, like in the picture right here.
That's how you know he's finished. You know.
That's how you know he's That's how you know he's a generational talent. When he's going off, he still knows what he has to do.
Is it? Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Real generational talents don't go off.
Fam. How can a racing driver have the PTSD from crashing?
He took too much curb. No. If you look back at what Anthony Davidson said, he took too much curb and it put him offline, and he went off. And you know what? He was trying to rectify it. Going off, he was trying to rectify it.
Okay,
he's not just out here smashing a car left, right, and center.
Why is he taking too much curb at a street track that has barely got any runoff on that side?
I'll be honest with you.
He did this at Imola as well.
No. Two reasons. He had a very similar accident in the French Grand Prix around a long sweeping corner. So maybe, he's not good at those. And second of all, he was under a bit of pressure. He didn't set a decent enough time in Q1 because the first round in Q3. So he went in late to the hairpin. Or the final corner. So he was under a bit of pressure. These things happen. Why was Lewis down in 13th? Hold on, why was Lewis down in 13th?
Hey, we're not on Mercedes, bro. Calma.
So what the highlight? So hold on. The highlight of the weekend. The highlight of the weekend was your background pictures, Leclerc spinning off, and not Mercedes putting it P13. Come on, P13 is embarrassing.
Yes, it is. Hold on.
You know what I find crazy? Yeah, is that the track? Yeah, this so-called track evolution. Lewis was one of the last people to go out in Q2, and he was still slow. So why don't we talk about Mercedes? But it's fine. No, Charles is the flavor of the month every month. So we want to talk about Charles. We can talk about Charles. But in my view, there's bigger things at play here.
And we're not doing this on the pod because I'll just mute you. We're not doing this on the pod. We are not.
Like what?
Yeah, like what, Anik?
Okay, so what is it? So I'm asking two things. Yeah, will you guys turn around and say that the Mercedes is terrible, or would you turn around and say that Russell at the moment is better than Lewis?
I'd say.
Or would you say both are true?
Wait, hold on. We might be jumping up here. Okay, cool. So let's look at both of their races. Leclerc spun it twice and crashed that in qualifying, and Hamilton finished qualified 13th. Then we come to the race, and Hamilton was finished 6th, and Leclerc finished behind him
7th. Yeah.
And I'm supposed to believe that this driver is the second best driver on the grid, a generational talent. That his two results was behind a car that was terrible in qualifying, and in qualifying he spun it off.
He's the only driver this year to put it on pole. That's a non-Red Bull.
Like I said, he loves walls.
And this is the same, and this is the same Red Bull car that is able to go fastest on the track with hard tires and still go quicker. Come lap 40. So he's the only one. He's the only one to have taken it to Red Bull this year. And I promise you, if he did put his hot lap together on Q3, he would have been pole.
So Charles Leclerc.
So he is a generational talent because he's going up. Like, it's a generational car.
Just for the record, Charles Leclerc loves poles and wars, and he never finishes his job.
He's an MCM. Magic City Monegasque.
He's still got the most wins. That's a non-Red Bull driver under these new regs. So
listen. King Charles got coronated this weekend. Yeah, the only king I acknowledge is King of Diamonds in Miami. That's the only king I acknowledge. Google that if you don't know what that is. Maybe Charles will be near to drown the sorrows because he was looking a bit surrounded. I can't lie still. Don't worry, we'll get to him.
He's got Eurovision. Yes, he's on his flight. He's off to Liverpool.
No, I'll tell him.
And by the way, today in the race,
he's got to spin the security.
And by the way, today in the race, he was suffering from, a difficult neck
COVID,
because he said that, he said his neck was hurting in the race
because he keeps crashing. That's why.
Before the race, no, but you got to give him a little bit of leeway as well in the race.
Like, why? He keeps crashing.
And by the way, look at the amount of miles that this team has had to travel. They went all the way from Baku to Miami. Come on. It takes its toll on the drivers.
Did they travel via boats or did they go with plane like everyone else? Sonny?
By plane.
Some bullshit excuses that. Piastri had congolitis or whatever last week in Baku, yeah. And he finished, was it P11 or some shit? P11, so what's those excuses that? No, you're not doing this. No,
this is not a normal race. This wasn't a normal race weekend as well. Like,
why? Because there's bad bitches in Miami. You got distracted.
It makes a point.
Alonso was watching Shaw do overtakes. He was getting distracted, but he's doing his job. But Charles gone. Was he scared of the colour blue? Keeps running off into it. Like Nam said, he likes walls, isn't it?
Loves those walls. Loves hitting those walls.
And he loves poles.
He loves getting on top of poles.
Do the moss. He likes walls and likes poles. Do the moss. But anyways, we'll leave it at that. If you got no more other sensible takes from Quali, Anik, we'll move on. Anyways,
I'll I'll summarize. It was his
God.
fault. In all seriousness, it was his fault.
So
He's
what?
the
Hang on,
reason.
wait, hang on. So you've just been arguing for the past 15 minutes for no fucking reason, just to go. It's his fault, you know. So you're going. He flew from Baku to Miami via boat. He's got neck trouble. Oh shit! Has he not doing neck workouts? What? Oh, you pissed me off, man. Oh my god. Go on, do your little summary. Go on.
No, I told you it was his fault. It was his fault. He only has himself to blame. But we'll see.
Okay, I need to ask you something like here. So I've turned. I don't have to turn Chris. I think Chris was already turned anyway. I've converted to jail. Am I going to convert you? Am I going to do hat trick?
I mean, look, listen. I'm a Red Bull fan. Yeah, Red Bull fan is first and foremost. Yeah. That's first and foremost. Then it's Max, and then it's Charles. Like, it's a heavy heart that Charles is number 3, but
Hold on.
Now
Revelation. Are you confessing on the pod that Max is better than Charles?
Oh yeah, I will say that. With a heavy heart, I will say that, yeah. But if you put them in the same team, Charles beats him. Charles beats Max in the same team. Yep.
No.
Yep.
I'll put your wedding on him. I will. I'll put your whole wedding on. No, say no. Hey there, first.
He said, what? He's saying that Charles will dunk on Max.
He said it's now I'm break down the logic. He said Max is finally better than Charles, but Charles will beat Max in that Red Bull.
No, hold on. At the moment, come on, man. And the confidence thing for Charles, like right now, he's not got the car underneath him. He's not driving
at Red
well.
Bull. At Red Bull, Charles won't make it to Imola. They would have replaced him. That crash would have been on the show.
William Lawson. Imagine that.
No chance. I'll tell you one thing. If Charles is starting pole today and Max is in P9, Charles is winning the race.
No, he would have crashed out. 100% he would have crashed out.
No.
Unprovoked.
No, well. How can he crash out if he's in pole? No chance.
I've seen it before, so it's not like it hasn't happened.
Ta-da! Oh shit! Oh, that's funny. Anyways, let's move on to
minutes on Charles.
Damn. We're going to talk about Lewis.
Rent-free.
We're talk about Lewis on the combination. Interesting. Let's move on to the intro. LL Cool J intro. So, FOM decided to do a little driver intro for the Miami Grand Prix this year. The last time we did something like this was, I think, Coulter 2017, when Michael Buffer was introducing everyone. That was quite cool, to be fair. So this time was, I don't know, it was kind of missing something. I don't know. LL Cool J was fine, but it just felt like it was kind of missing something. And there was a lot of uproar, shall I say, online over. It was saying it's cringe. Oh, this wasn't needed. Blah blah blah. It's a tear. So, Kwame, I'm gonna come to you on this. What was your opinions on the intro, the LL Cool J intro, if you will, and did you think it was really necessary?
Long story short, I wasn't a fan of it. Like, I feel like the principle of it is fine. It's calm. You get LL Cool J. You're gonna do like a big, announcement of drivers. We're in Miami. We know F1 will try and make a big show. We know it's going to happen. But the way the F1 is, the personality of the drivers, personality of the teams in the grids, it just mixing that with the whole, LL Cool J, the intro, it just fell flat and it just didn't, it just came across as very forced, very cringy. And I just wasn't a fan of it, long story short. I don't know what I would have done to improve it because I feel like last time with Buffer, it actually worked well. I felt like that one-off felt okay. It felt okay, of course, different, it's interesting. But this time it just felt a bit forced. I felt like the energy wasn't, natural. So yeah, that's what I've got to say on it.
Cool. Nam, I know we had a lot to say on this on Twitter. What's your opinions of the intro? Do you think it was unnecessary? think Michael Buff should have came in, maybe a bit of Paul Heyman, or yeah.
Paul Heyman, man. That's the only one who could have done it. The ultimate hype man. The ultimate hype man. I mean, LL Cool J is cool, but he ain't the hype man. Or you get someone like Will Smith. I don't think Will Smith would have done something like that. But
I don't think it's allowed to do.
I don't get Will Smith, man. We see it before the YouTube video, man. It would be worse
maybe
than
not.
this.
But Paul Heyman, he's the one. He could have done it. It would have been sick as well. Him saying all the stuff that he would have normally said. It would have been amazing. The intro was okay. I think, you know what? Miami this week was just flat. It was just, everything about it was just flat. And I don't know if it's because they went so big for the first one.
Yeah.
That now everyone's come back round and now the track has to speak for itself.
Yeah, I think the novelty's worn off. I think the novelty of Miami is kind of worn off. Like last year we went there, it was a big show, and it just worked kind of thing. Like, yes, people were going about how the paddock was fake, they had these fake boats and the fake sea, whatever. But the atmosphere was just, obviously everyone coming to Miami for the first time, so everyone's getting excited. You can tell the crowd excited. They've got all these big celebs in. Now we're doing now for the second year. Now they've already, all the celebs who were there last year already seen it. So now that novelty's kind of worn off. The last year again, the racing wasn't that great either as well. So now they come here, it's like, yeah, you have to do round two again. And if you're not a fan of it, then it's not going to come off organic, in my opinion.
This is what I spoke to Richard about before the pod. I know I told you guys at the start of the season, but it is, to me now, clear as day, it's harder to follow in 2023, definitely compared to 2022. And if you want to improve the racing, I just don't get why are you shorting the DRS? Why like that's literally the only way you could ever take now, and you shortening that, it just makes it so much more difficult. And I think coming back to Miami being, like getting, dead and flat, maybe they should just do it as like an exclusive, once every 3 years, once every 5 years. I don't know, because I agree with you guys. It did look a bit dead.
I think the issue though, in terms of the racing, yeah, I think they need to. The shorten on DRS didn't make any sense to me whatsoever, because what they could do is 2 DRS zones in that area. So you have like one at the start, then another activation, then continue the DRS. So that way, if someone gets overtaken, at least they've got a chance to do like another one while going into the corner. But I think the issue with Miami was like the stands were half empty. Like the ticket prices must be nuts. I don't get it, because
yes, it's like a grand minimum, something like that for like general admission sort of thing. Yeah,
I hear it when it's people. I was reading on Twitter saying, "Yeah, Miami's got money," but like where the race actually is, like it's not like downtown Miami. It's like in a neighborhood, so you can't be charging the prices that you're charging in the for that in the second year and thinking that people are going to come. Like, I don't know who is controlling the F1 pricing this year, but it just doesn't make any sense for what they're trying to do in America. Like, motorsport in America isn't that expensive. Isn't that kind of, I know they're trying to get glitz and glamour, but that's why you need to work with your PR companies, your branding agencies to get the people, the celebrities that you want to come in, because they're never going to pay those prices anyway. They're going to get invited anyway. So then you need to now think, okay, how do I get the fans in? And charging £1,000 plus for a ticket, like almost $2,000 for a ticket for a stand at a race that wasn't exciting last year and wasn't exciting this year, makes no sense. So I don't know. Liberty Media and FOM, man, they need to, I don't know what they're doing this year, but they're just fumbling the bag at every single race, one way or the other.
Bro, to me, it goes hand in hand with the racing. If you're seeing racing that's close, you're seeing overtakes in places that you wouldn't expect overtakes to happen, then you can increase it and it will be more exciting. People will be coming through the door. Austria last year, when we saw the train, Silverstone, and through was Hamilton, I don't think we're going to see stuff like that this year. I really do, because I just think it's so much harder to follow. And at the start of last year, when the new regs came in, it might be they were cooking. People were able to follow. We were seeing overtakes, and that's why, after 2021, you did see, a bit of a spike there. But bro, I know we're going to get into it, but if you see the Red Bulls the way they are right now, and if you see the fact that it's harder to overtake, I don't know, man. Sport needs to start thinking about what's going to go next, because it can't just go like it can't go on like this for the rest of the year.
But that's the thing. We knew with the regs, we kind of knew that this was going to happen, because the first year of the regs is always going to be a toss-up and a mishmash of people who've got the regs right and people who haven't got the regs right, and therefore it's going to have a mix-up grid. We're going to have some kind of racing, some overtakes, cars are not right, X, Y, and Z. And then people get the act together for the next one. So I kind of knew this was going to happen. I think we need to go back to, I guess, who's the one who's Helmut Tinker or whoever used to do the tracks?
Yeah, Helmut Tinker, yeah.
I don't know if he's been designing the recent street ones. I need to.
No, it still has been. Yeah, so like stuff like Baku and Jeddah, he's still been involved. Not as involved as he was in stuff like Malaysia and Hockenheim, but he's still there, like in the background.
I don't think he. Yeah,
Sun now is more involved than him. So.
Yeah, I don't think he designed Miami. It was a different organization or whatever that designed it.
Yeah, we might have to go back to,
because they did have a number of different layouts for Miami, but for one reason or another, they ended up on this one. To be fair, but I don't know if that was necessarily the best one for racing per se, because it's quite limited. Because obviously you've got the stadium there, and then you've got like all the roads and shit around it, so it's like you're quite limited on what you can do. But yeah, what's his name, Tilka, didn't have anything to do with this Miami one. But yeah,
we might have to go back to him, man, and figure out what. And just get the tracks right, man. Because at the moment, man, if it is him, then I don't know what's going on. But if it isn't him, who's been doing it recently, we might have to go back to him. And we might have an issue with that in terms of same old, but at least we'd have some form of racing, because these processions have been nuts, man. Like Baku was a procession. This was a procession-ish. Where else have we been to? Somewhere else was a procession recently, and I was just like, this is dead. It's getting a bit nuts. But then this is why as well we still have the European tracks. This is the reason why we still have it. Because it's like, well, all these new ones aren't providing the racing that we need. So to honor the fans, we still got to go to Imola, go to flipping Hungary. Like, it's nuts, man.
I find it's issue though when you focus on street circuits though. I feel like street circuits are very hit and miss just on how they're, I know we're getting off topic, but just how they're configured. I thought they'll either be very high speeds, like we're seeing with either Jeddah or Baku with tight circuits. Or but I feel like it's more of the cars just not the cars, in my opinion, I feel like it's a place where the cars have gone so big over time, where it's just the racing is just not, there's no really space to really overtake. We've got to the point where this season now, 30 years kicking back in as well. Now the cars are getting much more closer in speed, and it's just kind of the racing side of F1 that we thought these regulars. Don't get me wrong, I still think the regulars are cooking, but that novelty is kind of wearing off this season, especially when the one car is dominant. Is, yes, they're still racing in the midfield, cool, but obviously we want to see the top of the grid fighting, and it hasn't been the case this season.
Me personally, I just think it's because the City girls weren't there, to be honest. I think if the City girls were there, the racing would have been a lot better. You know what I mean? It's a bit of motivation, you know what I mean? What's Michelle Rodriguez doing for them? what's Vince Biofuel doing for them? You know what I'm saying? That's my opinion, but hey, listen, is what it is. So let's move on to the race, and let's start off with Red Bull. So Checo qualified on pole, and Max ended up on a P9, unable to basically get a time off. I don't get even got a time off.
Yeah, we have red flag, didn't you? So you
Yeah.
get the time
He couldn't even get a time off. So yeah, because we had Max cut through the field, it did lead to a very interesting last couple of laps when Max eventually did pit onto mediums and was then nicely behind Checo and then overtook him for the lead of the race and for the win. So I'm gonna come to you on this, Anik. Anik, what's your takeaway from your team's performance this week? And do you think there's maybe more Checo could have did to maybe bag the win, or do you think Max is just inevitable? Can't hear you. Was your... Fucking hell, Anik. Right. Change that set, and he still can't hear. Fucking hell. Oh God! Right, now I'll come to you on this. What did you make of Red Bull this weekend, and do you think Checo was could have done more for the win this week, or do you think it was inevitable, Max Stop?
Okay, so let's start on Red Bull. Nobody can compete. We cannot compete with them.
We cannot compete.
We cannot compete.
Cannot compete.
Change your car.
Oh, so now it works. Interesting.
Yeah,
But
you
now-
cannot compete, but now he woke up.
with the Red Bulls, I think the season's done. I think we're on course to see a record-breaking tally between the Red Bulls. I'm just looking at the screen now. I want to find out how many points Red Bull got when it comes up. I'll let you know. Here we go. They're on 224 points, and we're at race 5. So let me do quick maths. Figure out.
More than
So race
double.
5.
More than double the second team. 5 races in.
More than double the second team. 222. So what I'm trying to say is we're on course for them to
They're
get to
122
about
points.
800, 900 points. And that's insane. That's insane.
Can you guys hear better now?
No, it's terrible, mate. That's insane. It's absolutely
Yeah, it's still clapping.
no, it's insane. I think with the battle between Perez and Max, I think today was significant for Max in terms of to get over that. Oh, Checo is better than me at street races, although this isn't really a street race. Let's be honest. But that he needed this one in order to have that kind of I can race and I can win at a street race. What is a bit sly is the fact that Max got constant information from his pit wall in regards to the distance between him and Perez, and it was radio silent on the other side. That's a bit sly, but then again, Perez.
But why can't Perez ask for that?
Yeah, why? Perez, you should be asking for that. You're leading the race. You should know what's happening behind you. You really should know. And then act
I think-
accordingly.
Am I more audible now? Am I audible now?
Mate, you are. Your audio is this car right there. It is. I don't know. It's just
I might
hitting
have
a
to just drop
barrier.
off the stream. I don't know what's happening here. I'm done.
Actually, no, it's not right now.
So it sounds okay.
Is it right
but
now? So
Yeah.
what are you lying for now? Do you not want me
I
to
wasn't
talk?
lying.
What's going on?
I'm telling you, your
No,
audio
it's up and down.
the audio is the epitome of Ferrari. Yeah, when you don't want it to happen, you do okay, but when you're trying, you spin it. Just-
Sometimes good, sometimes.
See, like, so now look, listen. Now it just sounds terrible. But, but when,
Sometimes good, sometimes shit. That's
Yeah,
what it is.
it's a Ferrari. It's definitely
performance on his
Ferrari.
reference here.
Sometimes pole, sometimes wall. But no, yeah, it's going to be a very interesting battle. I think they are going to be 1-2, 1-2 for the rest of the season. We might get a odd race win somewhere where we normally do it. Maybe Monza, maybe Interlagos, and we normally get those odd races, but they're on course to do something crazy right now.
I mean, the most 1-2s in the season is Mercedes. Shock. And that was in 2015. They got 12.
Oh, they're about to be
So,
back.
yeah.
So,
Yeah.
so they've been 1-2 each race, haven't they? Except for
Yeah. Because who got a podium in Baku was Charles, isn't it?
Charles, yeah.
Yeah, because Alonso's got P3 at every single one apart from Baku. Yeah. They 1-2. Is it? No. Wait. No.
I'm gonna have to check this.
That's a lie. I'm lying because. Ooh. Yeah, because Lewis got P2 and.
Someone got P2. No. Lewis got P2 in Australia. Australia?
Yeah, he got P2 in Australia.
Yeah.
So apart from that, I think they've been P2 every single race.
Yeah, apart from that race there, they got P1 and P2 in every other race. Just Australia. Where Max the one race. So.
Am I more audible now?
Yeah, a little bit better.
Yeah.
I think the only way that Max could have beaten Checo this weekend, especially after Baku, was if he had a different strategy, so a tyre advantage, which is why whatever Checo went on, he had to go alternate. And I think the fact that he was down in P9 probably gave him an excuse. And let's be honest, he was doing fantastic. Right up until lap 41, he's still putting in fastest lap. And then, it was curtains by the time he came out. So I think having a different tyre, having a tyre advantage massively helped him. If they're on the same strategies, I don't know.
I mean, yeah, it would have been interesting if they wasn't the same strategies, but Max, the absolute madness on those hards. 45 laps, he lost 2. And when he came out of the pits, he was like 2 seconds behind Checo, something like that.
Yeah, it wasn't even that much of a gap between them two after.
Yeah. He did a madness on those hards, I can't lie to you. So it was a great race for Max. But I was obviously crediting a win just to manage those tires for so long. But yeah, I don't know if Checo really could have done more because he did try to defend against them. But obviously, Max just had better traction, didn't he, out of the corner, and then he was gone. So I suppose it was just those weekends.
Max definitely had the better strategy. I don't know. I think it's just one where I don't think Perez as well is going to sleep. He's going to lose any sleep on because he just knows there's a couple of street races. There's a Monaco coming up. There's Singapore. There's still Vegas. There's still a couple of street races where he can utilize that. Plus in Mexico. Plus he knows if he's still quick and he's still up there with him, he's still got a chance.
Sorry, bro. I can't agree with you there. Like Max was P9, and even come lap 45, or whenever Max pitted, he was still quicker than Checo. Checo was making mistakes. Like Checo should have done a little bit more to defend his position, not on track with him, but just have a little bit more of a gap there. Like, but Max shouldn't have come out 1 or 2 seconds behind him. No way.
No, I agree, but I think that's more to do with the pace of the Red Bull. We've seen Perez run through the field and get to second. We've done it. We've seen him do that as well. So yeah, I don't think he's going to lose much sleep on it. You're right in terms of Perez. He shouldn't be making those mistakes, but then Max should have put it on pole, but he didn't. So the swings and roundabouts, really. It swings and roundabouts. They're on course as a team to get 1,233 points. No, 1,023 points, sorry. So it's going to be a fun season.
I wonder what Mercedes Twitter have to say about that. That could be the most dominant car ever. Spicy.
Yeah. Like just stick around is ridiculous.
You know what? The car even passed the eye test this weekend as well. We had new livery as well. Even passed the eye test.
No,
They did. It looked beautiful. Do you
Nah,
not think it looked beautiful this weekend?
No, it didn't pass that. They just put a pink streak on it and thought, yeah, that'd be. No, it's the same car.
Bro, we're reaching out and embracing the views of our fans as well by letting them design the livery of the car as well.
Well, you have the
This
worst
team
one.
is perfect.
Let me tell you something, yeah. Let me tell you something, yeah. Red Bull did what normally some organizations do, where they go, yeah, we're gonna let everyone get involved with the design, and then they literally just pick behind closed doors and go, all right, cool, let's just design something quickly and then say someone won. I guarantee you used to Google the person who won, they don't exist. No LinkedIn, no Twitter, no nothing.
Now, can I ask you a question?
Go on.
You drive a Tesla, right?
Yeah, go on.
How did you feel when Elon Musk was there chilling with Christian Horner?
Your ringleader.
One, by the way, I'm moving to Polestar, and two.
Volvo, yeah, Volvo hype, yeah.
Sometimes get reliable, you know. Not every day fuel the MAGA lifestyle. Sometimes just go dependable Swedish. Yeah. So I didn't even know he was there, by the way. I don't know why he's there. I don't know. He's probably trying to enter a Formula One team, and they go, yeah, no, it doesn't work like that.
I mean, this guy's
why
saying you don't believe in motorsport? So why are you there, brother?
Why when Formula E is right there though?
But that's the thing, that he'll do something stupid. So yeah, I wanna build a F1 team, and you know, show that electric power is dominant. When really there's a series dedicated right there for you, Formula E, for you to go and race. I don't know why he was there. I saw they even put a video out. They Tesla put a video out about racing. Like, come on, guys, what are you doing?
So now you currently own a car quicker than a Formula One car, yeah? Is that what you're trying to say?
I know I do, but come on, guys, man, stop it.
Well, have you got a Tesla Model S Plaid, yeah?
No, I've just got a standard.
I know that's what Nam has.
I just got a standard Model 3. I didn't go for it. I've got kids, man. Fam, relax.
Well, you put them in the back of the Plaid. What are you talking about, bro? It's got seats in it.
Man, you try and fit 3 kids in the back of a Tesla, man. That's more Tesla. It's carnage.
Swear down.
This is about me. This is about F1, man. This is an F1 podcast.
So later, come on, bro. Okay then. So Nam's ringleader is currently with Red Bull. Interesting to everyone's. So let's when you say you like Swedish as well, yeah? You're saying Ghanaians like Swedish.
Stop that, bro. Stop that. My wife is upstairs, man. Stop that.
Yeah,
I was dissing Kwame, bro. It's Kwame slander, bro. What do you mean? Oh.
Yeah,
anyways, they make Queen's eggs as well. So yeah, I know what you mean. So you kind of split Steve. So let's move on to Aston Martin. So Aston Martin. So Alonso managed to qualify P2 on the grid, and he managed to get a P3. While Stroll was ordering, what was it, P19, I think it was? No, P18, sorry. Yeah. Absolute harlot. And he managed to finish P12. So, Kwame, I'm coming to you on this. What did you make of Aston Martin's, how to put it, inconsistent performance, if you will? You got one on the grid, Alonso challenging for podium and securing it. Then you got Stroll doing stinkonomics at the back, scoring no points.
Yeah, no, I thought that's good. I thought that's really a drive of two halves. Again, like Alonso will let you up there with. I actually would have thought before the race kicked off, I didn't think Max would catch up with Perez. I thought it would have been Alonso taking it with Perez. I thought that's how good he was. He's kind of the best of the rest, essentially, outside Red Bull. So I thought, you know, with the Ferraris having stinkers this weekend, Mercedes being off the pace, I thought, you know, it would have been Alonso and Perez, but he just kind of drove his own race today, and he's job when he got the P3 in the end. Whilst the show, it seemed like he had a lot of issues. It just wasn't. It was just a weekend to forget for sure. Again, straight from the qualifying wasn't good. Then from the conditions, it just wasn't his weekend. I mean, he had a good recovery drive, to be fair with you. There's not much you can do. In a situation like that, you just got to take the recovery drive on the chin. And he did get through up to the field, but yeah, I feel like he's a victim of qualifying, to be fair. And going away from here, from where he qualified up, and he got the P12. It's not great.
He was stuck in the midfield for a bit, wasn't he? So,
He was.
Yeah, it was just one of the days we were just stuck in midfield. Like when you're stuck in midfield training, there's not much you can really do. If you don't get past the car straight away, then you're just stuck there, and that's kind of what happened to me. Just kind of just.
I remember he jumped on the radio and he was like, "Can you tell me what's going on, or what am I doing? How I should be, driving?" But if he's stuck in the moment there, like he's always welcome to, try and dictate his own strategy and say, "Look, should we go for this, or should we go for this, or what's happening here?" Because I think he was caught up in that Magnussen, Leclerc, Gasly battle further down. He was properly caught up in that as well. So.
Yeah, caught up quite early in the race. Yeah.
I mean, funny enough, he had the same strategy as Max, and it's not like that Aston Martin slow. So, he only made up 6 places. So, yeah, I wouldn't say it was one of Show's strongest performances, but yeah, look at the contrast. Fourth podium and 5 for Aston Martin. Listen, but cooking something, you know what I mean? Cooking up a little meal. But hey, let's move on to Ferrari. So, Ferrari, they had a contrasting performance. So they qualified. Where was it? It was 3rd for Carlos Sainz and 7th for Charles Leclerc, and then they finished 5th with Carlos Sainz and 7th for Charles Leclerc. So the perfect man to come to is, of course, Anik. Anik, what did you make of your former team's fortunes this weekend? And do you feel like Shaw maybe could have did a bit better against your arch nemesis, Lewis Hamilton?
What, at the end of the race there?
Yes, that's correct.
He could have, but I mean, he was on those tires for a long time. Lewis had a tire advantage. It didn't surprise me at all. At the end of the day, Charles started 7th, finished 7th. Net gain, net loss of 0. Sainz started 3rd, ended up 5th. That's a loss of 2. So Nam was tweeting around. I don't know what he was tweeting, something about, Sainz is carrying the Ferrari flag or something like that. I mean,
I never did that.
Yeah.
I never did that.
Yeah, but something along those lines. But
no, never mentioned.
Regardless, Richard, all seriousness now. The tire wear caught them out again. It's their one sort of Achilles heel for the whole year, and again, it's caught them out. They're just unable to manage it. I think at the start, Charles was getting overtaken by a Haas. And that with your customer team is embarrassing. Let's make no mistake about that. That's embarrassing. And you know what? He couldn't even get past him in the first stint. So then when they pitted Charles, when they pitted Charles, he knew that he couldn't get past them after the second round of pit stop. So he had to manage his pace at the start of that second stint. Fair enough, it came back to him, and he was able to overtake Magnussen. He was able to overtake Gasly. Did he overtake anyone else as well? I can't remember if he overtook anyone else. But yeah, he was able to make his way back through the field and ended up in 7th. And for Sainz, I mean, look, he had a strong start to the race, but I mean, you can't be flying into the pits like that and not being able to slow down. You get hit with a 5-second penalty, and then the second stint, Alonso caught him out because he had 6 laps fresher tires after the fact, in the knowledge that Sainz, had that penalty. And again, the tires caught out Ferrari. So yeah, not a good weekend for Ferrari overall, bro.
Why is it too much deg, yeah? Is that what it was?
Yeah. Too much deg, and then Sainz made the mistake. Leclerc was unable to get past. It's just not good for Ferrari.
I mean, me personally, I don't know about you now. Me personally, I don't think the best driver on the grid should be Dyson K-Mag. to be honest. But hey, beats me, you know what I mean, boy. But yeah, I'm coming to you on this time. What did you think of the Scuderia's woes this weekend? Do you think there may be a solid weekend despite circumstances, or do you think they left a bit more on the table?
I don't know what's going on at Fiat, to be honest. Don't know what's going on over there, because at the beginning of the season, I swear they were saying they were going to comfortably be second. And now they're looking at the Alpines for their place. Like, that's, and Alpines have been shocking, but they're looking more consistent. Ferrari are looking like Tottenham this season. That's what they're looking like. They're still around there, but they look shocking, and I don't get it. I don't get what's going on with them. I think a lot of it is driver, because that car can finish higher up than it is. Like, I can't lie, man. Leclerc shouldn't be finishing where he is. He shouldn't at all. Like, that's embarrassing. And he wasn't in any accidents. He didn't, apart from spinning off in qualifying, there was nothing he did in the race that warranted him to be the position that he was. He was normally driving fine. There was a point where he was 12th, 13th, and just living there. I don't know, man. With the Ferraris, they got to think of some solutions fast, man. They got to think of some solutions, because it's just looking like a season to forget. It's definitely looking worse than last season, and last season fell off a cliff. So this is looking bad. They could easily finish the season, what, 5th fastest car?
5th?
Yeah.
Damn.
Because you have what? Red Bull, Mercedes, Aston Martin, maybe Alpine if they get their act together.
5th. Well, if you look at the constructors right now, but Alpine are what?
Ahead of them.
They're only 11 points to McLaren on 14 points right now.
Ferrari got 17.
But we haven't had we're better. Yeah, but again, you can't compare to McLaren, because we haven't had. This was like our first long weekend of the year where both drivers are in the points, 8th, 9th. That's kind of where I see us. So now I would say, Alpine, I say the 5th, 4th, 5th best. I say best car in the both. Best of the rest, essentially. It's not a bad thing to do.
Yeah, they need to fix that, because we can't have Ferrari next season being in the middle of the pit lane. That's scary for everyone.
Just on that, yeah. One suggestion I have, if the FIA are out there listening, how comes the team that wins it always goes at the front? Why can't they go at the back of the pit lane to make it a little bit more interesting?
Are you suggesting what, pit lane tactics now? Yeah.
I swear before, that used to, like, before that used to be different. It used to be like the one who won was at the far end of the pit lane.
Why do they make it like that?
It used to be like that. I swear they used to be like that. I remember back in the day, see Minardi being the one that used to hit first on the pit lane. So I don't know. They might have changed it around. I don't know.
I don't know. Maybe. But yeah, let's move on to another team, and that is Mercedes. So George Russell, he qualified 6th place, with Lewis in 13th place, and George finished 4th in the race, with Lewis finishing 6th in the race. So I'm gonna come to you on this, Kwame. Kwame, what did you make of Mercedes this weekend, and do you think 4th and 6th was the best they could have done this weekend, or do you maybe think There could have been a little bit more there that they could have done. You on me, Kwame? Kwame, you on me, bro?
I don't know.
Oh god!
What voice mode were you listening to?
Bro, that's
What
it.
voice mode?
One day, man.
The less said about Mercedes, the better. That's it.
No, to be fair to them, like I feel like their
Some business
race
supervisor.
actually good race. To be fair, like the qualifying, yes, was underwhelming. You know, like the Lewis not making it into Q3. George, to be fair, had to go to good quality session, but you know, the race, you know, they were best of the rest. I'll say, you know, they took advantage of, you know, Ferrari struggle. George's strategy. I feel like it was a better strategy than Lewis's. Obviously, there was a bit of team orders coming into play, which I'm not sure we're going to delve into. Where they told Lewis to let go of George, and then that's before the first pit stops. Lewis' first pit, George has been on, so they were on different parts of their of the track essentially, racing different races. Yes, Lewis had a bit of struggle with, you know, Leclerc and came back in that period. But in the end, he got the best of Leclerc. He took Leclerc to came back. And obviously, George coming in fourth again. Nando was doing his own race kind of thing. So he got the best between Mercedes and the Ferrari. So I feel like they had a good race. I feel like I don't think it could have any better, really. Obviously, it would have been nice to see Lewis, you know, get past Sainz, and Sainz himself didn't have a good race. So it would have been good to see them. But, you know, I feel like Mercedes, you know, they need to understand where they are at the moment. And, like, you're not levels Red Bull, so you ain't going to be winning races. Don't be better than that. But, you know, a young, you know, top six consistently, it's not bad. It's not great. It's not what you want to be. I hear it, but you got to just take it, you know, with a pinch of salt. And listen, it couldn't be worse for both drivers. But from where they were, especially Lewis, man, it's not a bad race. It's not amazing, but good recovery drive.
Okay, cool. Anik, I'm gonna come to you on this so you can get cooked on Twitter. What did you make of Lewis's small recovery drive? And do you think Mick had a decent weekend despite the circumstances?
Yeah, I think qualifying wasn't good. Let's be honest, that wasn't good at all. Talking about track evolution, that car should be getting quicker. Well, the track should be getting quicker as the session goes on. He was on the last to qualify. He ended up P13. That's not good enough. But he came through the field brilliantly. No doubt about it. I'm not going to dispute that at all. What I didn't like, though, was yielding the way he yielded for Russell at that section of track. It just made zero sense to me. Now, whether I know the team told him to, but he shouldn't be doing that. Not there. And just looking at the gaps now, like, I'm not saying that he would have caught Sainz, but, you know, a few seconds here or there, you know, with Sainz having that 5-second penalty, you know, Lewis could have finished one place behind George. So it was really good for Lewis. I think it could have been a little bit better. But I don't think that's through any fault of his own. If the team are telling him, or his engineers are telling him, you know what, do it. Maybe Lewis could have done it in a different position. Different section of the track. But yeah, race was okay. Qualifying wasn't good, but I think for Lewis it was good, the race. But I think Russell just capitalized on the situation in front of him. Look, Gasly was ahead of him. They're quicker than the Alpines. Okay, he's dispatched of him. And Sainz, you know, had a penalty and was suffering with a lot of deg. So yeah, I think for Russell was expected. I think for Lewis, though, in the race, that was brilliant.
No, I agree. Yeah, 100%. Okay, so what I'm now going to do is open the floor up to if anyone wants to talk about anyone on the rest of the grid, maybe a Nick de Vries, maybe a Bottas.
But Nick de Vries, I have to say now, yeah, this guy, he ain't good.
He is cheeks.
At all. Bro, the first corner. What's going on there? He went straight into the back of Norris. His qualifying was poor. What he got into Q2, didn't he? But even then, it was like so
He's
qualifying
cheeks,
was
man.
poor. Yeah, he's terrible.
Whilst his teammates had a you can go and watch update.
How many points did Yuki get, Kwame?
He got 0, but for me, to get the P11.
Yuki coin plummeting once again. Someone was hyping him up as well. It's like, oh,
I mean, he's been consistent. Every race, by the tip. It's not dip. He had a good race, but that overtake he did outside on the outside today, class. He was battling with Stroll in the Aston Martin, and after in Aston Martin, the difference there is wide, and he got a bit of Stroll. He had a good race. He had
Kwame's response here to Yuki finishing outside of points is why I hate Gen Z.
It's not relative, though.
The guy was talking about highlight reels.
It's relative.
I want to say for people.
No, I get it. It's all relative at the end of the day.
I was talking about highlight reels. Talking about, you know that YouTube page when people go to watch go and scout new players when they get connected to them. I can't remember what it's called. Something Scout. That's
Why Scouts? Is it? No, that's
I can't remember which one.
Scout,
yeah.
But that's highlight reels. They're just like highlights. Oh, do you see the overtake he did? The guy finished with no points. He went there and gained nothing. It doesn't matter if you did it.
It's not face off. It's not relative in everything. If this was like the Alpines, I'd be getting onto them. I'd be saying it's a poor race, for example, because we should be in the points. But because he's in AlphaTauri now, I'm not going to expect him to get in points every race.
What engine's in the AlphaTauri?
It's a Honda, but it's the same as Red Bull, Honda. Cool.
No, but who else races in a Honda?
Red Bull powertrains, man.
Okay.
Listen, but that car is not being the same for Red Bull.
The issue that I have with AlphaTauri, this is the issue I have with AlphaTauri. If you look at Ferraris, the Haas and the
they're not using the same parts. They're not using the same parts.
Huh?
It's on them, man. It's on AlphaTauri. This is why I said them on the boilers from last year, because deeper, you've got Red Bull right there. You can just use their parts. They're not using it.
So who's
they've got a complete other direction.
So who's
I don't know. I don't know what they're doing there. This is why I hate that team.
Maybe the number one driver, Yuki, should step in.
Yeah, maybe he should be maximizing what he's doing in that car, but he's not. Instead, he's just shouting.
He's maximizing.
He's just shouting at his engineer.
Leave me alone! I don't that car shouldn't be up there, but that car shouldn't be up there as it is anyway. Should not be fined for points. He's fined for points. He didn't get the points, but he was there. Where's his teammate? You have to compare drivers to their teammates every day as well.
Nah, man. No. Even with Nick De Vries, we know he's a bozo, man. But as I will say though, out of the rookies that are in Formula One, he's beating the other rookie. So he's doing his rookie job. Yuki is supposed to be carrying this Alpha.
He is. He's the one to get points to the team.
Bro, he carried them today to 0 points.
P11. From what? Come on, man. If you call it where
he went out in Q1 and gave them 0 points. He went 0 for 0.
He got 2 points in the last 2 races.
Is that an achievement?
For that team, yes.
In the car that shit, yeah, it probably was.
Is that no? Let's be real here, yeah. Let's be real. Is that car rubbish?
It is. I'll be debating this with
we can say we can confidently say
2 cars are the worst cars on the grid.
We can confidently say that the Williams isn't great. We can confidently say
Williams ain't that bad on a straight line speed. Them and
we can confidently say that the McLaren is great.
McLaren's trash.
We can confidently say that the Alfa Romeo is great.
They're trash.
Where did the Alphas finish today?
P13 and P16.
Come on, man.
And where did the AlphaTauris finish?
P11 and P18.
Okay. So we know that the AlphaTauris are rubbish, yeah? And Yuki is supposed to be the next shining light. And he finished, a couple places ahead of an Alpha.
Their cars on the same level. Their cars on the same level. So if you put us,
The last
the same
race,
guy.
I saw Bottas was like two minutes behind the leader. There's no excuse for this anymore. There's no excuse. When I finish with Leclerc, I'm coming to Yuki fully on Twitter.
Listen, what I don't get, we're hyping up Yuki for 2 points. Yuki coin is at an all-time high because of what, 2
I
points?
mean, listen, man. Like I said before, you've got to look at it objectively. And
How many
like, he
seasons
ain't
has he
gonna
been in
get.
F1?
Hmm?
This is his second season, right?
First season now. First season.
Oh, he's third.
Yeah, first season.
You've been sleep though.
I mean, the one thing I wanted for him to be this season is to be more consistent because we all know there's a driver and he's been more consistent.
Last season, how many points did he have at this point?
Well, you know, his first season was appalling, by the way. I think AlphaTauri must have got 100 points that in 2021. Yuki only got 20% of those points.
Yeah, cool. But I mean, first season, rookie tax, man.
20% of your points total is coming from Yuki in your first season.
Rookie tax in there, man. And last year, I mean, yeah, cool. Last year was actually more close to Gasly than it was seen, but unfortunately, he carried over time into a lot of issues with the car. And strategy also wasn't paying his way. This season be much better. Again, like you're seeing the highlight reel, but at least there's highlights there, man. It's not a pretty one come my way reel. This is pure.
Come my way.
This is pure highlights, man. So, hey, P11, man. You got a good race in there, man. That's it. Now
Well, I can't watch. You can't tell me to watch a Yuki highlight reel and then to put a disclaimer at the back that he finished with no points. I'll be so pissed off.
Like I
So pissed off.
Like I said before, this is an Alpine weekend, like, but the car, like at the end of the day, like same with McLaren, like Piastri getting points, Norris getting points. That for them is an achievement because that car should not be in the points. So you've got to look at it the same way. Yeah, it's the unfortunate of being in a back market team. Like the Minardi DNA is kicking in. You know, you're having a season where Francois is going to leave. It's a season of changing at the end of the day. So I'm not expecting anything from that team, man. I knew this was going to happen last year, hence why people call me a fool in it, but hence why I had to sell all stocks to that team because I knew these men are going to do nothing. I said this last year. So I'm not really surprised that everything's happened this year with that team personally.
Kwame, your terrorism holds no bounds, bro. First Love is Blind. You're playing with 2 women, and now you're on the pod playing with 2 teams, both beginning with Alpha. What is going on? Get your priorities straight, King.
I think it's also worthwhile mentioning what do you call it? Ocon done well to finish 1 place behind Gasly.
Good race as well.
Gasly, I don't think Gasly had a good race considering where he started. Fair enough, he was always going to move his way down, but then for Ocon to be 1 place behind you a few seconds wasn't good. I think honourable mention.
That's because Ocon's a superior driver. I get we know this, but I don't know why everyone's pulling those faces.
Superior, that's a big word, bro.
Yeah, compared to Gasly, he's the most. Ocon is the best out of the 3 French drivers on the grid.
I like Ocon. I don't mind Ocon.
Yeah, you heard me right. He
wants in the club. Leclerc's not French. He's on the gas.
I'm doing it on purpose.
All right, French speaking.
French speaking.
No, French driver.
Hey, Monaco playing League One. Say no more.
Bro.
I think honourable mention to Haas as well. I think K-Mac
had a good race.
Home race.
Finally. About time. He was getting spanked up by Hulkenberg the last few rounds. But yeah. As confirmed by Chris, he's got his wife pregnant again or something.
Yeah.
That's not getting I can't relate. I don't know if Kwame can relate to that when he goes to where he gets more energy, but I don't know. I couldn't tell you, bro. You know what I mean? I'm just a reporter. So, anyways, let's move on to driver of the day. So, Kwame, who's your driver of the day, bro?
Yeah, I'll give to Max. To be fair, it's kind of the easy option, but from P9, I didn't think he had a chance in this race, to be honest with you. And he literally just got the race win by like 40. like 45. So it was kind of, I got to a point when she was his to lose. That's how good she was, as good his pace was. And yeah, you can say DRS hype, and you can say for fast car tax, whatever. But you just have something to say.
All right, cool. Nam, is your driver today?
Anyone but Max. It's gonna be. He's thinking of someone that's not Max Verstappen. That's literally what's going on in his head right now. He's looking at the thing, going, "Shit, am I gonna be?"
If you say Nick DeVries, I'm gonna kill you.
No, it's not the Lewis.
It's got to be Lewis. You're gonna say Lewis, man.
No, it's not gonna be Lewis. Lewis didn't have a. I mean, he had a good recovery drive, so he's up there. He's honorable mention. Say Charles Leclerc. He didn't crash it.
Interesting.
I'm joking. Max. It's Max. It's definitely Max. Max. I mean, you can't start where you start, and yeah, it's Max. Max won it.
Fair enough. And Anik.
Yeah, it's got to be Max. You started on the hard tire. You came quicker as the race went on. You know, your teammate had fresher tires than you, same compound. Yours about 30 laps older, and you're still going quicker than him. You come out 2 seconds behind, and you just blitz him. I think it was a big weekend for Max. You know, street circuits, a lot of conversations happening. Oh yeah, Checo's a street king, this, that, and the other. I mean, he absolutely dunked on him this weekend, and yeah, I want to see what the Perez fanboys have to say, because I'll be honest with you, that wasn't a good look for Perez in the race at all, and I think that's going under the radar a bit. Everyone's like, okay, Max done well, of course he done well, but I think we also need to look at like Perez there, because you know what, if you actually strip it all out, that was not a good race from him. He should have been much closer to Max.
Okay, yeah.
I also feel like the season would be a big thing I feel like that race there is a big one in the momentum swing as well, in championship as well. I feel like if Perez got another win, and I feel like, don't get me wrong, I still feel Max would have won. I still feel Max going to win the championship, but I still feel like there'd be more of a hope and chance for Perez in the sense that, oh, okay, cool, I just came back to back 2-3 circuits, I'll beat Max. This could be my year or whatever, and then he goes on to collect another few wins, and the team get back behind him, because he would have had 6 points ahead, so then they would have another more points advantage. Again, I know it's early doors, but it's just now Max is back in control, back in the lead of the title, and we're going to the European level of the season now with proper race circuits. It's looking Max favor.
Cool. Let's move on to the Latifi Award. Kwame, come back to you on this. Who's your Latifi?
NDV. The reasons. I'll go get some.
Cool. Now,
We're gonna have to name this Latifi Award again. Rename it.
makeover. Yeah? Makeover. Yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna have to go on, because there's 2 drivers on this grid that are giving real bozo gene. So I'm tossing between calling it the DeVries or calling it Laward.
Does this mean you're gonna nominate Nick DeVries as your first?
Yeah, it's either Nick DeVries, because fam, why are you crashing your car? Like, why are you hitting people? Like, are you just going into the back of drivers? What's going on, man? What's going on over there? Like, you're a world champion, You're a world champion.
Fugazi world champion.
Formula E, you are a world champion. You can't be doing this kind of stuff. But then I get it, because when you watch Formula E, sometimes they're all just crashing into each other. Just parking it. Yeah.
Watching the other day, Dan think they'll just do some next crashes, but
and then just making out the hood. So I get it. But no, I think De Vries is gonna get it for me. If Leclerc crashed out during this race, he would have got it hands down. He's lucky, because he was that close to getting it for me.
Cool. Anik, who's your DeVries Latifi Award,
The
bro.
Breezy Award. De Vries is there. And yeah, bro. Bad weekend for Leclerc. Really bad weekend for him.
Interesting. Okay, cool. Let's move on to the next topic. And this has kind of had the F1 Twitter space in a bit of a frenzy, shall we say. And that is the war on influencers. So, this is this has been a topic that's been going on for, I want to say, the last year or two now, basically. With Pitstop getting invites, all these different influencers getting invites. Not really know much about sports and blah, 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 XYZ. It's a lot of hypocrisy, I want to say. A lot of people who sit there and go, what's the name? F1 should be for everyone. But at the same time, be like, you need to know basic knowledge of F1. You need to know who the driver's called, what the teams are, how many tracks is there, who won the championship in 1950. Do you know what the Jackie Stewart is? It's a bit much. I can't lie to you. So there was a lot of debates, as there's usually on F1 Twitter. There's this girl from this makeup brand called Tarte or something like that. She got invited to Miami Grand Prix, big influencer race, obviously. And she didn't know what. They were just saying, like, yeah, it's a big car race, whatever. And quite a fair few people got offended for some weird reason. And basically like, it should be real F1 fans get invited to these tracks. But it's like, okay, so you sit there with your Charles Leclerc profile and you want to complain about people who don't know you, who have a following, and who are of significant value to FOM, who can show F1 to a particular audience. While you sit there with your 200 followers, and you haven't changed your bed sheets in 6 months, and you're sitting there complaining about influencers saying, why they ain't getting invited to the track. You was never getting invited to the paddock. It's as simple as that. You was never getting invited to the paddock. And you never will, because you're a danger to society and you're a weirdo. It's as simple as that. So, I'm going to come to you on this now, because I think you've lightly touched on a bit of this as well. What is your take on influencers and celebs who maybe are very novice to F1 being invited to different tracks and whatnot, whether it be through sponsorships or whatever? Do you think it's that deep that you can get invited to an F1 race and not really know much about it?
No, it's not that deep. Like, this is the whole thing on Twitter is why people need to go and understand what branding, PR, agency work, all of that stuff, why that is important to a business and why businesses do it. Because I saw some stuff and I'm just like, you people clearly have no understanding of how to grow a business and how to use the relatively new world of social media influencing to maximize your brand. Like, some people were just saying, like, first of all, her saying little F1 cars, that is just literally, that's colloquialism, I guess. She's like, that's just like someone saying, oh yeah, it was just, we just did this thing and it was just a little thing that we did. Like, that's colloquialism. That's that's what it is. Nobody's saying, oh my gosh, how she belittling F1? She probably was proper hyped and excited, because the way she was talking about it as well, after she was like, she needs the need for that speed, blah, blah, blah. So I was like, she's excited to be invited to something that all of us would dream to go to. So on that basis, I saw nothing wrong with it. When people were just commenting saying, F1 should be for us fans and and etc. Like, but you're sitting on Twitter watching the race that you probably didn't pay Sky for, right? Like, you didn't pay Sky to watch it. You probably found a stream, and you probably didn't even use a VPN. You probably found a stream to watch this. Yeah. Like, You're not paying for F1. You're not even at the races. You're not even the closest you get to F1 is probably paying stream to get F1 23 on a subscription. You didn't even pay the full price to own the CD. Like, come on, guys! Like, what's going on? What's going on with people?
Here is that Nam definitely has a Sky Glass and Sky Q.
Look, I've told you guys to use my reference code so I can get £100.
Yeah, right. He's selling it to us. He's selling it to us right now.
You guys are refusing to do it. No, but in all seriousness, yeah.
I get what you're saying.
That there is a level of understanding what the influence of the world is doing to that. There's two sides to this. There's also what happened with that other podcast that has a few letters that are quite similar to us, and they got called out for their nonsense. That's completely different because it's like you're offending the drivers that are there, right? And you've been given the access to be part of F1 and really privileged access to interview some drivers, right? And you're basically offending them in front of them. That's not great, right? But like with influencers and celebrities, the whole point there is to bring their following to F1 so that F1 can utilize and maximize their product in front of those celebrity like fans. So to get upset about that doesn't make any sense to me. That it just means that you don't understand what F1 is trying to do. Going forward, I think there's just, I don't know, F1 Twitter just needs to just enjoy the sport, man. Just enjoy the sport. Like, all that other stuff isn't for you. Yeah, just tune in when you hear David Cross voice, and tune out when they do the champagne. If you're that upset about it, the rest of it, with the whole influencer thing and all that stuff, that is for fans that Liberty Media are trying to capture the young generation that have to replace the older generation that are clearly going to be moving away from F1 and dying off or whatever. They need to galvanize new fans. So that's what that's for. And if you don't understand it, just don't get involved. It's that simple. Like, getting upset over someone saying a little thing like this. I will say though, just before I let someone else speak, F1 need to do better, a little bit better in terms of how they're vetting some of these fans as well, because like there are better, more accessible who are willing to go into F1 and have a following that are willing to learn more about F1 than some of these fans. And I know you're trying to capture everyone in this big net, but sometimes you gotta look at the net and throw some fish out. Like, so they need to be careful as well. But for people that the average fans, the kind of like Max Verstappen is the greatest 4567225 on Twitter, and them, man, like, this isn't for you, innit? Just tune into the race when the race comes on and go off when it's done. The influencer stuff isn't for you. That market isn't for you. You don't shop there. That's not the shop that you shop at. You get me?
No, yeah, 100%. Kwame, do you think influencers and celebs, they need to take an F1 quiz, do a little, get the wheel nolly off, put his step foot on the circuit? Or do you think, look, listen, the game is the game. F1 want to make F1 bigger, more marketable. Of course, you want to get the influencers on with the 10 million, followers on TikTok and the VTT sort of thing. Do you think we should gatekeep F1 more?
I mean, okay, cool, yes. And the ideal world, yeah, they'll know everything about F1, cool. But it's not the ideal world. It doesn't work like that. It's a business. People need to wake up. It's more the coffee and that, like Nam said it perfectly, man. They're there for these influencers are basically big advertising boards, essentially. They're there to bring in fans for whatever, and they're not going to know everything about the sport. That's okay. I mean, everyone starts off as a new fan or as a new something. Like, not everyone's going to know everything. I don't get this whole thing about gatekeeping. Like, everyone Like we've seen them before recently with DCS fans or whatnot, and now look at them, they're staple parts of the sport. We've seen them before in the Bernie. Like all this arguing for nothing, man. I'll be honest with you, like, yeah, just argue for nothing. I feel like this doesn't make it. Like they're not gonna know anything. They're not there as quote unquote fans. Like Manam said, they're there to bring in new fans, and they're gonna pay these people out because they've got big followers. And if they've got a big target audience, then I mean more people will get into the sport through their favorite influencer, and that's how the market grows for F1, which is before Liberty Media came in was a very small market, and now it's a growing market. It's one of the fastest growing young sports out there. So I don't think they're doing anything wrong. The only thing is that, like Nam said, I feel like they can get better influencers who may be, more in tune with F1. We have big names, big platforms out there. But other than that, what can they do? Like, I thought people need to understand what they're doing, why influencers are there. And they want to know they're there, then you want to play. And you're me, bro.
So yeah, no, I agree with what both of you guys said. I think it's just people on F1 Twitter just moving us to do on F1 Twitter. Just loving arguments. They just love a shitty debate. They love to complain about absolutely nothing. They love to have this entitlement complex, if you will. Why are not I there? Why are they there? Blah, blah, blah. Well, maybe become an influencer and get your followers, or maybe you might get invites, Or you can be like everyone else and just be a paying fan. Just like me, Kwame, Chris, Mahat, and Tweak did when we went to Bahrain. We started a good time there. We paid our ticket. We paid our dues. You can easily do that way. This whole, because I've been in a paddock before, and it is nice. Don't get me wrong, but it's not this massive utopia. Like, I need to be there. To be fair, you can still have a good time in the grandstands. You still have a good time in the fan zones and whatnot. You still have a good time, be able to see F1 cars in person. To be fair, so it's just kind of like a bonus if you end up in a paddock. So it's waffle to me, because it's no different to like getting these same influencers getting invited to a football game or an NFL game or a basketball game. You don't see fans of these particular sports being like, why is so and so sit there? Do they know anything about the game? Do they know the offside rule? Do they know what a quarterback is? No, you don't get that discourse. Well, as far as I'm aware, I've never seen that discourse before. So why is everyone so different? It just doesn't make sense to people. But we'll touch on this again later in the season. But yeah, let's quickly run through this questions, because I know it's getting late. So let's start off with Ranch Stingus. So his question is: since K-Mag gave Leclerc hell, do you think Ferrari will avoid giving spare parts to Haas for the rest of the month?
That's a funny question. Nah, I don't think they'll do that, man. I don't think they'll do that. I think they've got a contract in place. Obviously, K-Mag can show that K-Mag's doing good, but I mean, I think obviously Ferrari know they've got a better car than Haas, so they will still give them spare parts. And they still need a team that they can kind of test. Look at their rivals Red Bull. They've got AlphaTauri, who, in theory, they should be giving out free spare parts. So I think it was better for Ferrari to give away to Haas, and Haas can test them out and whatnot. So that'd be fun.
Cool. Next question of Duxon Quack 9, and that is: will Miami just become another Monaco track minus the history? Because this track is just honestly a knockoff version of it. I can't lie, it's kind of stupid.
No, because they can move things about. They can make Miami a little bit more exciting if they wanted to. Monaco is the streets. Can't really do much with Monaco unless you extend Monaco and use new streets. So no, I don't think so. And even that with Monaco is too narrow, so it's not really much you can do. So no, I don't think so. They have with Miami, they have something that they could work with and build something quite good. It's just this kind of like track layout at the moment, isn't it? But then they're learning. It's the second race, so I guess we'll see what they do. But no, I don't think it will be Monaco. Monaco is it's the great granddad, isn't it? That's lived a bit too long. That everyone
you know.
loves, but it's time for it to go. You get me?
Say Monaco, yeah. Damn, fair enough.
Yeah, why not? Like, fam, they remember when the Ballon d'Or used to be like run by UEFA, and UEFA went, nah, we're not doing that anymore. And then they started doing the best one. Do we actually talk about these things anymore? Like when old things, I hate nostalgia merchants. That's what I hate. I hate nostalgia merchants so much. And the UK is a nostalgia merchant country where they love things of the past for too long. Monaco's fantastic as a place, cool. If they want to change up and do this like exclusive kind of race that they race to on like, or do this showcase thing, maybe the All-Star Weekend kind of thing for F1 is at Monaco. Why don't they do something like that where it's not involved to the F1 grid or F1 calendar? They can do something like that. Why not? Where they can have like sprint races or like time trials and things like that. I think people will enjoy that. So yeah, no, man. Yeah, no.
Yeah, I hear that. Next question is of Burnt Rubber 44. Do we think Miami is here to stay, and will it actually be due to the terrible racing or due to the dollar? Also, Forge Wash nominations are Sergio Mikel Perez Mendoza, Nicholas Napoleon Hulkenberg, Charles Mark Hairpiss for Let's Robot. Yeah. That's a good one. Finally, where's Anik? Well, just answer that one. Anik is on the pod. But yeah, I think we've kind of already asked out. So, do you think Miami's here to stay, or do you think the dollars will keep it going?
The dollar keep it going.
Okay. No? Think it's here to stay?
Well, Miami.
Mm.
Next year will be a crunch year. We'll see what they do.
Next question of Oliver Dirty B. So where is the Alpine which Peter Griffin said which was going to fight Ferrari and Mercedes? I mean, he finished what, PAP now? So
PAP9, man. Omar. I mean, this race was a decent race. I mean, yeah, wasn't fighting the Ferrari and Mercedes, but you know, we're just below them, so it ain't enough to worry about. This is Omar will say all my things, but you know, we know where we're at, and we know where we need to be. That's it.
Cool. Next question of CFCA19B. What happened to McLaren? I think
McLaren just didn't come to Miami. They thought, yeah, we'll just do the YouTube stuff and we'll see you in Imola.
Yeah, this season for them is basically right off. Yeah, they haven't basically developed their car, long story short, so they're going to be far off the pace until they get their new.
I always realized when McLaren start doing a lot of social media stuff, yeah, their car is nuts.
We know it's PR, man. Shout. The social is actually good to be fair, but we know it's PR. Them trying to cut paper with the cracks, man.
No, I hear it. It's just I'm just saying, just watch out when they're doing loads of PR.
It's like when Arsenal used to drop new kits.
Yeah, it's exactly that.
Dropping new kits.
Just trying to cover stuff up. You're dead, but buy this new pink and purple shirt.
True. This is very true. Next question of the same person. I had said last week RBR is not sabotaging Perez. Well, Ants, I think that's Anthony Davidson, just said that Perez's team didn't tell about the gap to Max or anything for that matter. Yeah, because I think we've already touched on this. I think his engineer
yeah,
pretty much. So yeah, so that's that. Next question of SOSHGN. Are you surprised by how easy Perez made it for Max to take the W? I mean, we kind of already touched on this.
I mean, he was on like 20 lap old tires.
Yeah, just
can't really do much with that, can you?
No, not really. Max did well on the hards. That's what won for him, to be fair. So that's isn't it? Okay, next question is off M Sport Banter. Did you also have a nice nap during that race? Yes, we did. Next question is off Hus XYN. Thoughts on Perez's tyre strategy? I mean, do you think he maybe should have for a different tyre strategy? Maybe start on into. Yeah, Checo was on a different one too.
Yeah, he's medium to hards.
But I think Horner already said that the data said that the mediums are going to be the better one, so which is why they started on that. So I don't know, man. What can you do? It's all hindsight, isn't it? Hindsight is perfect. 2020 vision.
That's true. Next question off Mercury_0W. Thoughts on the Stroll stinker? I mean, yeah, I've already touched on that. That was
it as well.
Yeah, it was. Listen, I, as an Aston Martin fan, expect nothing off Lance Stroll. If he got P10 today, I would have gave him driver today, because that's like a dub to me. I expect nothing of him. So,
I have a theory on Lance Stroll and Alonso and Aston Martin. I realized that Alonso's been giving a lot of encouragement to Lance Stroll recently.
Yes.
I think he's heard that. I think he's heard that a certain world champion might be looking at that team, and he doesn't want them there.
Lewis.
Certain world champion, innit? Certain 7-time world champion.
You think Lewis is eyeing up what, Lance's seat?
I think so.
Hey, listen, I'll be there no matter what. That'll be the dream.
I'll be there. I'm glad I'm a Jordan.
I will be there.
I'm glad that I am a Jordan fan. I'm glad that I'm an Eddie Jordan fan. All those times in the grind, watching everyone spin out at Spa for them to take a win, I was there, bro. I'm glad I'm a Jordan fan. Because when I see that...
Well, haven't you just said you hate nostalgia? But here you are doing nostalgia.
That's not nostalgia. Nostalgia, I don't hold on to... I'm not holding on... I didn't say that Aston Martin should be painted yellow. Did I say that? That's nostalgia.
I'm just saying you're just
nostalgia. No, nostalgia merchants are the ones that reminisce about the past, so much so that they avoid the future. I just said that Lewis Hamilton might be coming to Aston Martin, and I'm glad I was an Eddie Jordan fan. That's not nostalgia, mate. That's not nostalgia. What would have been nostalgia if I said bring back Eddie Jordan and paint that car yellow, and while you're at it, make sure that Yana Chuli is walking around in the pit lane. That would have been a nostalgia, but I didn't say that.
Bring back Heinz-Howard Frentzen.
Yeah, bring back the B on the car, bruv.
That's crazy. Okay, last question. Off Tommy Ajay 1. Is Adrian Newey the GOAT? I know Nam hates this question.
I just got his book.
You just think what, sorry?
I just got his book. How to build a car. Yeah, I've got it.
Is it available on Kindle?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, I've got an Audible, so.
Okay, I might have to buy still. That's bad stuff.
I mean, have you read? It's a good read.
Oh, you read it all?
No, I'm still going through it. It's a good read, but he's not the GOAT.
I know you've already said previously that you don't believe in the engineering GOATs, basically.
No, I don't. He doesn't either. Just to let you know, spoiler alert.
Oh, sure. Interesting. Okay, fair enough. I think we can end it there. So, thank you if you got this far. Of course, I probably should have done this on the start, but now I'm going to plug the socials. So please make sure to, of course, follow us on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok on Pitstop Fracas. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe under the same name, Pitstop Fracas. And also, please make sure to leave us a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. And I think you can also leave comments now on Spotify as well. So I know obviously you can on Apple Podcasts, but if you can leave comments on Spotify, we'll try and get back to them. See, I don't know how it works. I'm just saying about it. But yeah, thanks. That's all for today. And see you till next time. Till Imola. Yeah, Imola. So yeah, peace.
Rosberg, don't come back.